Hey, this is Dale Jones. I can't stay long because they're going to find me. My ankle bracelet is going nuts. You're watching and listening to Ego's Last Stand. Don't tell them I was here.
When I come around, got the whole thing wobbing.
And we're back for another episode of The Ego's Last Stand of the Quarantine Chronicles. I'm Sardam, and we're back here once again. And this time, I tell you what, this is probably going to be one of my favorite episodes because I get to talk to a good friend of mine. When I first started comedy, this guy gave me a lot of advice and was there for me to answer a lot of my newbie stupid questions. But I love this guy to death. Please welcome to the show, Joe Deuce. Joe, what's up, man?
What's up, Josh? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man. Hanging in with all this Rona. How you doing?
Yeah. Oh, man. Just being tired of being stuck inside, to be honest.
Right.
I never thought I'd miss the road life so much.
Right. It's kind of funny how you're like, when you're on the road, you're going, God, these hours don't go by fast enough. And then now it's like, I miss that.
Right. Yeah. Now I'm like, when do I get my own hotel room?
Right.
when do I get to eat fast food again? Like, when do I get free drinks? Like, when is all this going to happen? Yeah.
When can we go back to the life?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it'll ever return to the way things were before. I mean, now we figured out we can do Zoom comedy shows and do stuff online, and so your socially awkward comedians aren't going to want to go out anymore. They're going to sit at home with no pants on, with a big bag of Doritos, and tell their jokes. I did a show literally just before this, and there was a lady on the Zoom call. Now, on Zoom you can see everything's going on, which I'm ADHD, so it kind of helps me actually because I have 20 different things going on, so it's great. But there was a lady on there who actually was cooking pasta, put the pasta on a plate, then came back to her computer, was eating the pasta, and not like cute eating, like spoon and knife or spoon and fork twirling, like not cute. It was like slob it in your mouth and then and like noodles. And I was just like, I don't think she knew she could turn her camera off or that we would be paying attention and could see her because she must have had the speaker view on or something on her side. But I was just like, this is ridiculous. So yeah, it's I hope we go back to clubs and theaters and stuff soon, but I mean, right now, for the foreseeable future, for the next 365 days, probably
it's probably going to be really, really tight as far as getting crowds back. I did a show, I think it was like 2 nights ago, and it was the same situation. I guess the guy forgot that he had his microphone on, and Mike was in the middle of saying a joke, and all of a sudden you hear, "Damn it, woman! I said get in the bedroom." It's like.
It's funny doing shows with you at the Twisted Cork has prepared any comic for a Zoom show. Because you don't know what's going to happen. The drive, and if you don't know, if you're listening, the Twisted Cork is a drive-through liquor store in Lexington, Kentucky, where we've done comedy shows for years. But it's so much fun. But literally, the drive-through could ding while you're mid-setup. There's 2 old ladies talking at the bar. Then the owners are yelling at you. Somebody's flushing the toilet literally right behind the stage. Like. That prepares you pretty well for a Zoom call. You don't worry about all the stuff going on.
Nothing really bothers you. I mean, we called it the Crucible for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of
what's funny is I was like, what's funny is a lot of comics love those kind of shows.
Oh yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. Like you have to think on your feet. It really separates the good comics from the terrible ones.
It really does. Brad Lanning said that he literally had to flex every single one of his comedy muscles to make that room work. And I couldn't have said it better myself. As a matter of fact, I remember the last time you headlined there, you had to barricade yourself in because Mama Sue was coming at you.
Yeah, one of our friends, Aaron, says he has that on video somewhere, but he hasn't sent it to me yet. I wish, because I became an Australian safari man who was observing old white women behind the barricade is what I think. That's I had no idea what was going on. There's no way I could recreate that moment. Her going around and sticking her, she said it was a razor, but it looked like a vibrator, sticking it in people's faces. And, yeah. Woo. Haven't thought about that moment for a while.
It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Yeah, Twisted Cork. God rest its soul.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you can do a show there or a Moose Lodge or any of that, the Zoom shows are easy. But I really do look forward to getting back, in the club and being there with actual people where you can actually I can see people laughing on the Zoom shows, but they're all on mute,
Right.
most of them anyway. So you just see them miming a laugh, and you're like, oh, great! I think it's hitting, or something funny's on their TV. I'm not sure which one. But yeah, I'm gonna take it and roll with it. So,
I mean, what else can you do? You can't do anything else. And if people out there actually earning some money on those things, so, I mean, if they're off, you might as well take it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely. I mean, that's the only way to really make a living right now. You put out content as much as possible,
right?
And see what you can get. But yeah, I mean, your club money's gone. Your corporate money's pretty much gone.
Yeah.
There's a couple of corporate gigs where they'll do a Zoom, and bring you in to do a show on Zoom or some other platform. But yeah, I mean, you can't do college shows anymore, really. Your churches are done right now.
Right.
They'll do a drive-through church, comedy show at some point, I'm sure. But yeah, so right. Yeah, so I mean, it's weird. Yeah, it's so strange to have a sickness and something that you feel could be avoided. People get flu shots every year. So a lot of people early on didn't think it was more than just, oh, this is like the flu, not a big deal. To have that kind of thing, literally just take thousands and thousands of dollars out of your pocket overnight, it seemed like is it's weird. It's a weird situation, So yeah.
I mean, I still have 2 more dates scheduled for this year that I'm clinging to with hope that they'll stay. But I mean, honestly, there's a lot of different schools of thought on this, but I'm just looking at it as when we finally do get to open up, using Kentucky as an example. I mean, we're supposedly phase 3 where clubs can open back up. Is it going to be at 100% capacity? Probably not. And how many people are actually going to want to take the risk of going out? I mean, it's going to be a trickle effect, and it's going to be slow, and it's going to suck.
Yeah, and then I mean, how fun is a club going to be when everyone has masks on?
Right.
Because there's people who laugh without making noise, right. But you can see them from the stage. So now you can't. You just see. You got to look for shoulders or head movement, or try to judge if you're hitting this person or not. So yeah, that one jerk in the front row with his arms crossed is still going to be looking about the same, but his frown will be covered up. So,
right.
So maybe that'll be better. But yeah, it's going to be it's going to be interesting, and I don't know that we'll ever be back to normal, or at least not in the near future.
I mean, if they come up with a vaccine for this thing, I mean, where they can vaccinate people, I think that would be the only way we could probably, where they can eradicate it, then we'll go back. But I mean, they're talking about not even knowing how to tackle this thing, which is really bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's I read something the other day where they talked about a vaccine maybe wouldn't even work. So they're looking more at the treatment side of things, which, to be honest, I'm 35. I have, some light asthma. It's not too bad. And other than that, I don't have any other underlying conditions. So for a guy like me, it's not a huge risk. But but then what if I get it at a club and bring it back to to my mom who's in her 60s and has diabetes? You know what I'm saying? That's the scary part for me. It's not my personal health that I'm that worried about. It's the people around me. I got a 2-year-old and a wife, and then older people in our family, between my in-laws and my mom and my dad's 70 now. That's those are the people I'm worried about, not so much myself.
Yeah, and I'm the same way. I don't allow my wife to go out at all. She's got a couple underlying conditions, so I don't let her go out. When I go out, I'm masked up. Matter of fact, when this thing first was an issue, I've said this before, I was masked up and I was gloved up, and after one trip to Kroger where I witnessed 3 fights almost break out, one of which I had to break up myself, I started carrying my gun all the time because I was like,
Yeah.
I ain't dying over Rona.
Right. Well, I thought about buying guns, and my wife we'll drive by the pawn shop, and there'll be a line out the door. She's like, what's going on over there? I'm like, probably arming up. Like this could be the end of days. We don't know. We don't know what it's gonna look like in a month.
They found that the pawn shops had toilet paper.
Right. Well, I'm telling you, if like everything goes down, forget about a gun. I'm driving to Eastern Kentucky and going to one of those gas stations and getting me a sword and some ninja stars. And I'm gonna be the male Michonne. Like I'm gonna be what's the guy from the Kingdom? I'm gonna be that guy.
You be that guy.
I'm gonna be Ezekiel. I got the dreads, the gray hair. I'm ready. I've already picked out my outfit. Like I'm ready. Been working on my hand-to-hand swordsmanship. It's gonna be it's over. So that's my plan. If it all you gonna see me.
We have a dry storage for food and whatnot, and of course it's always maintained about quarter to half, full. Right now, that bitch
it's full.
Overflow.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Hands down, we have our refrigerator obviously is filled, with stuff that we're going to use right now. But like on top of our cabinets is literally just like non-perishable stuff, just waiting. And and when my wife said it at first, she was like, "You're going to think I'm crazy." I was like, "No, I don't.
Yeah.
I'm on the same page. Let's do it."
I'm on that team too.
Right. I mean, like best case scenario, we get sick and we have to quarantine for 2 weeks. Then we have food already, But like worst case scenario, we have food, and we barricade ourselves in until the first wave hits.
Yeah,
it's gone, and then I go get my sword.
There's no bad reason to do that. I mean, it's just what the hell? It's just good. I mean, it's space that ain't taken up by anything else. Might as well pack it up, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's crazy to me seeing the amount of my neighbors who like get out and leave, and like I get if you go drive in a car or something because that's all you can do. I got my 2-year-old. That's the only way we change scenery is to take her out in a car ride or something. But some of my neighbors are bringing out birthday gifts and like,
really,
they're like dressed up to go places. I'm like, where are you going? Like, what are you doing? It's outside's closed. What are you doing?
Right.
Like they're going to birthday. I'm like, who's having a birthday party right now? Like they're gonna have a birthday and a funeral within 3 weeks of each other. That's stupid. That is dumb.
We got a neighbor that's like across the street. We go out for walks whenever it's nice out. We'll go for walks. So we were walking down the street, and the neighbor's having a barbecue. It's got like 9 cars in the driveway. There's probably about 15, 20 people there. I looked at Christina. I said, "Hey, at least that won't be for sale soon." I mean, there's a bright side.
Right. I mean, it's true. There's a guy around the corner. He had like 4 or 5 cars at his house one night, and I'm like, "There's no sports zone.
Right.
There's no big fights. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you like?"
Right.
It was like the type of traffic you would have for like a Tyson fight or like like Conor McGregor's fighting Floyd Mayweather. But if there's none of that's going on, so like, unless you having a party to watch the Jordan documentary, like it'll be on Netflix when it's over. I do not get it. It's people are insane and they just will not take no for an answer. And then white people are marching. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all down at the Capitol building yelling about my body, my choice, but you want to shut down the abortion clinics. Now how convoluted is that? Like you trying to make. I saw a sign at the Capitol. I don't know if it was Michigan or the one here in Kentucky, but there was a sign this lady was holding, and it said, "Sacrifice the weak." And then her shirt was like a Conservatives for Justice shirt or something. And I'm like, now look, you oppose late term abortion. I know that for a fact. This is the latest term abortion you could possibly. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get, and I want somebody to get an abortion at 8 months of pregnancy, but at 80 years, they should definitely not be getting one. That's like, and she's just. And it's crazy to me. They wanted checks, so we became socialists all of a sudden. Right. So they got checks. They're pro-choice. They're out here marching. It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Republicans have become Democrats. I don't know what's softer than a snowflake, but somebody's conservative, like the extreme right, are becoming that. And if you're if you're a Republican out there who's middle of the road, you on my team. I don't have a problem with you. The ones who are extreme on either side are stupid, and I think the rest of us are just sitting here in the middle, like, what is wrong with y'all?
Yeah. I like the fact that the political lines have kind of blurred, because I mean,
right.
Politicians are all full of shit anyway. So I mean, it's nice to see their true colors coming out. They're like, hey, wait, and they're like, what are you doing? No, wait, you're doing
right.
that. That's not what Republicans do.
Oh man, but I had a guy on Facebook tell me, well, if you don't like Donald Trump, then you better not cash that check. And I was like, bro, it's 2020. I got direct deposit. I don't have to cash nothing. He put it in my money. Like, like, I'm not gonna vote for him, but I'll take this money. Thanks, Trump.
Hey, I'm sure you've seen it before, where you got an audience member who you hated the entire show, and then they come out and buy something.
Oh, they buy a T-shirt. Oh yeah. Those are the best and worst people in the world. I had a guy at one time I think it was in Dayton, Ohio, and literally the whole show he wanted to talk, and I had to go at him like hard, and I finally got him to shut up, and like he really wasn't laughing, so I'm like, I don't know why this guy even came to the show, and I'm headlining, so it wasn't like I was the feature, like I was headlining that show. So I get done, and I'm out front. He comes up, he buys 3 shirts. Like one for him, one for his wife, and he's like, I got to take one to my son. Like, and he's like, you were awesome. He liked my social media stuff like immediately. I was like, what is like? Why didn't you show this enthusiasm in there? Like, I appreciate the money, but like, I'd almost rather have the laughter. Almost.
Yeah. Almost.
Yeah. Almost. Yeah. I'll take the money. Like. You know.
Yeah, we up in Louisville with Etta May, that happened to her. This guy was drunk as hell in the front row, just being an asshole the entire show. And she I don't know what the hell she's doing. She handled him. But after the show, the guy came up, and this ain't a stretch of the truth or imagination or anything. He gave her $800 for, like, he bought like almost all her, like he wanted it all.
Wow.
And
Etta brings them all.
He was like, listen, I'm going to give you my personal cell number to text me if you want to take this back. She goes, tomorrow, because he was drunk as hell. And she thought it, like he was just doing a drunk, like, mistake. Yeah. But she was like giving him an out for the next day, and he never contacted her, and she kept it.
He didn't remember. He don't know where that number was. Hey, but I'm gonna be honest, she's a better person than I am, because I'd have been like, here's my number. I'd have given him a wrong number. I'm like, hey, bro, hey, Playboy, this money mine. You drunk and mess with me, that's on you. I don't know what to tell you. You can learn how to hold your liquor. Yeah, learn how to hold your liquor. This is a $900 mistake that you done made. I'm sorry, because I know $800 on her stuff, and then the bar tab had to be close to $100 at least.
Oh, God.
At least. Yeah. So, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, it's $1,000 night, dumbass.
We had a guy at Comedy Off Broadway one time who was disorderly. Not during my set. My set he did fine, but then I think I was with Ian Bagg, and Ian Bagg was up there, and Ian Bagg's doing his set, and the guy tells him, say this joke again, but it was my joke. Ian Bagg is like a 6'2" Canadian guy, white as all get out. He's like, you thought I was the black guy with the dreads? That's what you thought? You thought I was that guy? Like, we don't look anything alike. There's no, but he asked to tell my joke, and the dude was so drunk. Him and his wife, they stumbled out. They stayed for like an hour after the show trying to talk to us. They left. She was embarrassed, clearly, and I know she was embarrassed because the next night we were doing our shows, and the guy came back, and he was on the phone with his wife, and he had been sent there to apologize to us, to me, to Scott, to Ian. And he ended up like, Ian was like, yeah, whatever, okay, that's cool, and like left, and then Scott walked off because he had to start the show, and the guy ended up giving me like a $30 tip. He was just like, I'm sorry for interrupting the show. I'm the only person whose show he didn't interrupt. So I could have been like, oh no, bro, we good. Like, you didn't bother me, but I was like, all right, thank you, appreciate it. Don't let it happen again.
Right.
It'll be 50 next time. Ryan or Tanner or whatever white name you have.
Kyle,
yeah. 2-syllable Kyle.
That's right. I had a guy when I was with Mike Armstrong sitting in the front row, and he's Indian chief.
Mm-hmm.
Like I owed him money or something, or he was sent down to this, and he had to watch me. I mean, he just miserable the entire time. Get off stage after the show, the guy comes over, and I'm thinking he's gonna say something like be an asshole to me. Walks up, like puts his hand out to like grab my hand. He's like, "Dude, you were hilarious." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You're really, really funny." I was like, "Dude, all of this said you hated me." He was like, "No, I thought you were really funny." I was like, "Well, you got to work on this."
Well, it's weird to me that people go to comedy shows with the intent not to laugh. Like they're being dragged there, or they're being held hostage. And like I was in Cleveland or Columbus, one of the two, and did a show, and there was a guy in the like second row. Him and his girlfriend were there. She's dying laughing the whole time. And during my set, he got up and left, like probably about 10 minutes into my set. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And I do the rest of my set. I come off stage. He didn't leave all the way out the room. He's in the back of the room. And I get up there, and I'm like, he's like, "Hey man, you were hilarious." I was like, "Thanks." Like, I thought, "Didn't you leave?" And he was like, "Oh yeah, you almost made me laugh, so I had to walk out." And I was like, "You're you're at a comedy show, bro." Like, and I don't know if he was supposed to. Right. I don't know if he's supposed to be like some gangster or something, so he didn't want his girl to see him laughing because giggling's not real gangster. Like, you never see a gangster giggling, you know. But I maybe that's what it was. But it was the weirdest. I was like, wow, yeah. Like, why are you here? Not to laugh.
Yeah. I mean, you know, working the door at Comedy
Yeah,
all
makes no sense.
all these people coming in just grumpy as hell, pissed off, and it's just like, well, I mean. If you're going there because you're in a bad mood and you want to get cheered up, I get that. But I mean, they leave the same way, and I know, you know, who they were there to see was funny, and it's like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And it's been a rare occasion. I've been doing this for like 10 years now, and it has been a rare occasion where you go to a club, and the headliner and the feature and the host are all not funny. I've seen that twice. Maybe, and that wasn't even one of them wasn't even at a real club. It was at a club that somebody had opened that wasn't, you know, like they called it a club, but it wasn't a club. Like that's, and I'm like, it amazes me the amount of people who come there and actively don't have fun. And I'm like, the people are funny, clearly. Even people who I don't laugh out loud at, I can see why they're funny. Like I'm like, okay, I get why that's funny to a lot of people. I don't find it amusing myself, but it's funny. There's quality in almost every type of joke. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's insane to me because I've never seen a show top to bottom not be funny. In fact, most of the shows that I've been to, especially in like official clubs like Comedy off Broadway, at the Funny Bones and Laugh Factories and Zanies and all that stuff, like all of those shows have been filled with talent, like packed. And even the person who's having the worst night usually is a good comic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's insane to me to see people actively come out of their house just to not have a good time. And so now those people are on internet, and when you do a live comedy on your Facebook or something, they're the ones who are complaining about your joke. "Oh, that joke's terrible. That's not even funny. Oh, he stole this from them." And like, you're like, bro, like you in your mom's basement right now, miserable as all get out. I'll be damned if I'm gonna get online and get roasted by some dude named Dwayne. That's not gonna happen to me.
You got those ones that get like so hammered drunk they're just having their own conversation in the middle of a damn club, and those
Oh,
insane.
Yeah, those people who are having their own conversation and they think that you're a part of it, even though you're not.
Right.
And then the drunk couples who are all over each other. Those are the two worst groups.
Absolutely.
Like the two worst people to be. Oh, it's terrible. Like I take a bachelorette party over that any day. And those are rough, but you know.
Yeah, bachelorette parties. Yeah, they definitely, especially because they want you to bring you know the lady who's getting married, you know, into the conversation, or they want you to do jokes about her, or you know, or the birthday. Yeah. It's my birthday, motherfucker. This ain't Chuck E. Cheese.
Right, I'm like, good. Your parents had sex this many years and 9 months ago. Like that's all that means to me.
Right.
You ain't do nothing but fall out. That's all you did.
You owe gravity a thank you.
Right. And I'm like, you ain't do nothing but fall. I don't understand why people are so hyped about birthdays. Like, I'm like, you ain't do nothing but fall out. That's it. Your birthday, you should actually celebrate your mama because she did all the work. Her and the doctor, whoever helped you come into this world, that's who you should give gifts to. You shouldn't get nothing.
Right. Nothing.
You shouldn't get nothing. A warm bottle of milk. That's what you should get every birthday. That's all you get. I've been around newborns. They're not fun.
No.
You're not cool. You wasn't even cool till you was like 5. Up till then, you was just mooching. You didn't go to school. You wasn't at work. You was just eating and pooping and tearing stuff up. That's it.
I had a guy aggravating the crap out of me at one show. Hey, it's my birthday. It's my birthday. Like, he kept saying it. Like, he was saying it under his breath. And it was like, finally, I just stopped the show. I was like, dude, listen, we all have birthdays. I said, this isn't Chuck E. Cheese. We don't have tickets here. And you're not jumping on my balls. So shut the fuck up already.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I would be quiet, but it's my birthday. That's people are so weird. Like, especially, I'm gonna say this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like especially women think that their birthday should be something more special than just a day for everybody. Like, I get it's your day. You've gone around the sun one more year. You're one step closer to death. Congratulations. Whatever. But like, as a stranger who doesn't know you, I don't care. Like, if you tell me it's your birthday and it comes up organically, I'll be like, happy birthday. But if you're interrupting whatever I'm doing just to tell me it's your birthday, I don't care. So what? So what? Right. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Unless right. Like, unless you live, like, if you hit a milestone, like, I'm 100 today, I'll be hyped for you. Like, yes, you made it 100 years. Wow. Like, how many times did you have to change what you call black people? That is amazing. That is a lot of years. That's a lot of, like, that person is old. Like, that is a lot of, nobody hits triple digits like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll celebrate that.
Sure.
But, but other than that, like, okay, it's your birthday. Great.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. When we used to do bar shows a lot early on in my career, and even somewhat recently, but like early on, especially, like, there's always be somebody who's there who's turning 21, as if that's the most amazing thing that's ever happened in their life. And I guess at that point it is, but I'm like, bro, you realize this is like the last good birthday you got.
Right. All the fronts all loaded.
This is like, right. They're like, ooh, I'm 21. 3 years ago, I was 18. And I'm like, 4 years ago, you get lower prices on rental cars. After that, you don't get no other benefits of your age. There's nothing else that's going to help you until 65. Right. And the way you drinking, you're not going to make it. You're not going to hit 65.
And honestly,
yeah. So, like, that's
liquor. I would pick a liquor. Stop going from whiskey to vodka to don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah. And I get it. I was dumb when I was 21. Like, I drank like 10 LITs or something the night of my 21st birthday, which
I don't like you just saying that.
Bro, it was rough. But like, but I wasn't going around like the people like, hey, I'm 21. What? Like, no one cares. No one cares. Great. I'm 35, still in a bar with 21-year-olds. Get out of my face. This is where my life is. I don't want to know nothing about you. Get away from me. And now he's drinking something terrible too. Like, what you drinking? Oh man, this is Incredible Hulk. What? No, you grown now. Drink a grown person beverage. Like, what is get a Jameson or like.
What is with the young?
What's that?
Drinking all these weird ass, and they come up with like, this is a dancing frog. What? It's a what?
I'm gonna be honest. When I was in college, I would get watermelon Bacardi rum, and one of those big jugs of like the Hawaiian Punch, whatever. But it was the lemon berry one, and you mix it. No, bro, it was like drinking a Jolly Rancher. It was good, and I called it Deuce juice. People loved it. Guys, girls, didn't matter. It would get you right, and it would sneak up on you. It was one of those good drinks like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You're white and Jewish, so you speak for two communities. in your all's neighborhoods growing up, did you guys ever have a tea guy, like a person who made the tea? You know what I'm talking about? You had what?
Hooch.
Okay, well, yeah, we had Hooch too, but I mean, in black neighborhoods, there's usually a person, and his name's like Man or Boy or like TT or Riri. It's always a double name, but he always would have sweet tea, like it looked like sweet tea. It was in a gallon jug. The milk comes in, but it would be liquor with the tea, and everybody had their own special mix or whatever. But like people would buy these, they'd be like, "Oh, I'm having a cookout this weekend. Let me get 6 jugs," and they buy them, and that's like, so it's a hood hooch basically.
Yeah.
There wasn't bits of fruit in there like white people do it. White people do it nice. They put it in Gatorade, put it in Gatorade jugs, and they prepare for 4 days. Like I'm gonna take this watermelon and cut a hole big enough for me to stick my bottle of vodka in, and we're gonna let that sit for 4 days, and then after that we'll cut it open into little slices and we'll eat them, and we will be wasted. Like that's it's not that deep. We're gonna make some Lipton. We're gonna introduce some. We're gonna introduce some Hennessy and Kool-Aid to give it a little extra flavor, and that's what it is.
Basically, yeah. That's that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's hood hooch. I know my mom is white and she probably bought some, but like we lived in the hood, so I don't know if like everyday white people like you died in Florida and stuff. I don't know if you guys had that.
Well, yeah, they grew up with making hooch, especially like if you like we're going camping or something like that, or fishing, or there was a barbecue, or it was Thursday. I mean, you never know. I mean,
oh yeah. Oh no, I get it. Yeah, now, that's my roommate when I was in college was from Virginia, and I remember we went down to a party, and his friends had spent, probably a week preparing for this party, and one of the big features was they had this huge cooler filled with hooch, and had pineapples and strawberries and watermelon floating on top and stuff. And you go up and you take a piece of fruit and eat it, and it'd be like you had 3 drinks already. You know what I'm saying? Well, this little drunk white heifer was trying to dance, and she was terrible, and she slipped on a rock or gravity. I don't know what she slipped on, but she hit the hooch and knocked it all over, and like it was gone. And them guys, I thought they was about to kill that girl, and like. We're like, calm down, it's okay. But anyway, after everybody kind of scattered and started getting other drinks because there was beers and stuff there too, this little dog, a little hound dog, I'll never forget, he came over and started eating the fruit up off the ground. That dog was wasted. Like I don't know if you ever seen a drunk beagle, but that stuff was hilarious. He was tripping on his ears, he's tripping on grass, he was gone, bro. Like, I don't endorse making dogs drink because that's bad for them. But in a happy accident, this dog was wasted. Like,
did he like?
Like he called his ex-girlfriend. It was crazy. Like he was gone, bro. He was gone.
Crying next to it. I loved her, man. I loved her.
Oh. I'm telling you. It was terrible, bro. I was like, what is wrong with you, man? He was, I've never seen a human this drunk, let alone a dog. I thought we need to take him to the vet. But the white people was like, he'll be fine. So this is not the first time this happened. Like that. I guess this might be a regular occurrence. I don't know.
He keeps trying to leave. You're trying to get his car keys. You're like, will you stop?
I took his collar off so he couldn't go anywhere. Nah, bro, we can't go out there, man.
Can't go, man. No. Put the call in the fishbowl with everybody else's keys.
Oh no, that's a dog slinger party. That's a little different. You put the dog collars in the fishbowls, and yeah, that's how beagles and chihuahuas are getting together. It's always a swingers party, man.
Always.
The Humane Society hookup parties.
Right.
Worse.
After this episode goes out, I'm gonna get a call from PETA.
But like, here's the thing: no one did it to the dog on purpose. It was a happy accident. It just happened.
I love it. I'll tell PETA to kiss my ass out.
Like I would never endorse anyone giving their dog alcohol, but Sometimes there's spills and dogs clean up spills, and that's what happened.
Hey, you know, I had a deck at one of the houses I lived in. I don't know if you remember, I used to have these little chihuahuas, and one of them, the female, she clung to me all the time. And that was my little girl, and she's really old, and we were just hanging out one night. I might have had a dozen or so beers in me, and I was drinking, and we're looking at the fire, and she's sitting next to me, and I might have dropped a little beer on the ground, and she'd lap it up. And it's funny to see a little dog get buzzed, you know. She walking weird, but
nothing's more entertaining to me than animals who are in weird positions like that, like human positions. Like animals who get drunk, hilarious. Animals who are high, probably really funny. Animals who wear clothes, cracks me up. Right. Like, it is what it is. Right. It's the little things in life that make me hilarious, like make me laugh.
Yeah, no one forced her to drink it. She did that on her own. You know, I mean.
True story. When I was little, I don't remember how old I was. My mom was married to an idiot, and he would go out when him and my mom would get into fights. He would go out and drink with our dog, and it was my dog. That's what made me mad because I didn't get no liquor, but my dog got liquor. I was only 8, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like, and she was 6. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was older, anyways. But so he would pour it in her bowl, and she'd drink it, and they would just sit out there and get drunk together. And I remember, like, he thought it was hilarious. He was like, "This dog's so stupid." And I was like, "She's smarter than you. Like, she's drinking for free. Like, you an idiot. Like, you giving her all this free liquor." And so he didn't believe me. Yeah, he didn't believe me that she was smarter. Well, one day, he thought he was going to punish her, so he took her food, put it on a little bowl or whatever that he poked, and he set it outside of our gate, like outside of the fence, so she could see it, but she couldn't eat it, which I think is cruel anyway. And he came inside and he was bragging about, like, I told her who's boss, you know, I run this house. Well, he went back out there, and this dog, she's an idiot. She was hilarious. She had pulled the food under the fence and ate it all. And when he came out, she was pushing it back out of the fence so that he would think somebody else ate the food and she would get more food. I was like, that's my girl right there. That's right. You show them how it's done, Brownie.
She's definitely smarter than you.
Hey, it's a true story. It was hilarious. I'll never forget that. As long as I live, that'll be one of my favorite moments in life. To see him get outsmarted by this little mutt.
Much easier.
They are the smartest. They're the smart, because all the other dogs, you can say whatever you want to about it, you know, purebred or what. Purebred ain't nothing but a rich people term for inbred, because that's all. It's the same. Like, you can only have so many of a. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only have so many people, like so many lines, and then they start crossing. So it's like the royal family. It's just a bunch of inbreds, and I don't know why we so obsessed with them. Like, it's
Prince Charles.
Yeah, like basically, like literally, Prince Charles, Queen Elizabeth, all them, they basically poodles. They've been bred like, and they kept it all, and like, you know, I don't know if Queen Elizabeth is AKCC certified or nothing, but like her paper should be on file. It's crazy to me that people obsess over and pay money like $3,000 for a dog. For a dog? Because like when I grew up, dogs was free. Right. somebody dog had some puppies they wasn't planning on. They couldn't take care of them. You want a dog? Sure, I'll get a dog. And they always had worms, but once you got rid of that, they was good. Yeah. Like, yeah.
There's so many free out there. There's no need to spend any money on that shit.
Right. It's insane to me. Like, I've spent money on dogs because, you know, my wife wants them and stuff. She's like, "Ooh, I want them." But I'm like, I don't like having to spend a lot of money on a dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I love the dogs that we've had, you know, but what are they really doing for my life?
Laundry? Are they making the bed?
You know what I'm saying? So we adopted a toddler that's never going to grow up. Like, when we get older, this dog's not going to take care of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, she never going to go to college, not going to meet a nice boy and bring him home. Like, nothing's going to happen. Like, it's just, we have a permanent toddler that we got. It throws up all the time. It poops and pees wherever it feels like. you know what I'm saying? It yells back at you, even though even though you're trying to help it. Like it's a dog is a permanent toddler.
And every time you bring it in the house, it takes its collar off and throws it in the fishbowl and looks at you expectingly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, well, that's because he's been one too many Humane Society parties. That's what it is. He out there getting it in.
Joe, where can people go to find out information about you?
Man, you can go to joedeucecomedy.com and click over to where I'll be live. And all of those are blank right now because of this stupid pandemic. So you don't have to worry about that. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, you just hit me up. It's that guy Joe Deuce. And if you don't know how to spell Deuce like majority of the country, it's DEUCE, or you just type in that guy Joe D and click on the black one. That's me. And you'll get to see where I'm going to be. Hopefully, once all the restrictions are lifted, hopefully I'll be back in my home club at Comedy Off Broadway at some point. Up in Ohio and Virginia with the Funny Bones and Improvs. Down in Georgia with the Laughing Skull or the Punchline Comedy Club and several other colleges, corporate events. I also have a dry bar comedy special that's supposed to be dropping this summer. God willing, we will see how that goes and. So you can look on my social media and I'll post on there when that comes out. It should be a lot of fun. So I'm excited about that. Yeah.
And I really appreciate you taking the time out to do this, man. I know you're even though we're in the middle of all this stuff, I know you got all this stuff going on. Like you just came from a show when we hooked up here tonight. So I really appreciate your time, man.
Yeah, no problem, man. I really appreciate you having me. Also, if you are into web series, which will probably be turned into a podcast here soon, I'm actually doing one called The COVIDs. It's not jokes; it's more serious usually. But I mean, we have fun on there. But it's literally me talking to people who are working in some form or fashion through this COVID epidemic or pandemic. So I've talked to one nurse who moved from Kentucky to New York to take care of COVID patients and, has been there 3 months now. And then I've got another one who's a charge nurse in charge of her COVID unit in North Carolina. A good friend of mine, his episode's coming out, I think on Monday, was stuck on a cruise ship for like a month because that's what happened during the pandemic. So you get to hear stories about that. And then another friend of mine, she actually had COVID and is a new mom. So her baby had to go somewhere else. So you get to hear some of that. So, yeah. So I'm trying to collect as many stories about what's going on in people's lives. And so you can check that out. It's just The COVIDs. You can look them up on YouTube. I'm on there too, Joe Deuce. And I'll be uploading more videos and stuff as this pandemic goes on because I'll have more time to actually look through all my old videos. You ever do that, Josh? Like you film a whole bunch of stuff and then you never actually look back at it. And so, yeah. I was talking with
Dusty Slay a week ago, and Dusty said that his best social media is TikTok. And I was like, Dusty, come on, man, that's for young girls. And he goes, dude, it's my best social media. And he goes, I literally get thousands and he's got links. I looked. 10,000 views on some of his videos and shit, and multiple videos. Yeah. So I said, all right, fine. I'm create a TikTok. So I did that, and it's been ramping up really fast. So I was going through all my old.
Really.
And between trying to keep the vomit from coming out of my mouth from watching some of my older stuff, because it was like,
it happens, man.
I'm to you too. Why didn't you tell me I sucked that bad in the beginning?
Hey, because everybody sucked that bad in the beginning. It's are you comfortable sucking? That's the part that's important. If you're comfortable sucking, you'll never be bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's even your worst set, you're gonna be comfortable with. So that's the key. If you're looking to get into comedy, are you comfortable with silence and awkwardness and a joke not hitting or a few giggles makes you think you just killed it? That's
you just described my first set.
Then that's what happens, But I'm gonna be honest. I'm mad at myself because I'm looking back at some of these videos and I probably got 15, 20 minutes worth of stuff that I did 1 or 2 shows and have never done again. And I'm looking and I'm like, well, this joke was good. Why didn't I use this anymore? Like, why did I stop doing that one? So that's helpful. But yeah, I have a TikTok account, but I don't have the app on my phone and I don't do videos. I work with college students and one of my girls there, she just did a TikTok like 2 weeks ago and it had like 40,000 views like overnight. And so she said she retired. She was like, that's the best I'm ever going to do. I'm not doing that again. Now I'm sitting here trying to get 100 views on a YouTube video. I'm like, you got 40,000, 60,000 views. What you doing? So yeah, I might have to get back on there and just get on there and rant or make stupid videos.
Yeah.
We'll see. Learn some new dances. That's what apparently people do.
You definitely would get a lot of attention just with all your stuff that you do. It'd be probably pretty easy for you.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
The worst part about this pandemic is the worst part about this whole pandemic, to be honest, is I have more time to do all the things I've thought about doing, right, but I don't have the motivation to do any of the things that I'm supposed to be doing.
Isn't it so weird?
You know, like it's because I think when I'm on the road and I'm going, I'm like, I'm thinking about the next step immediately. Right now, I'm like, I don't got to go back on the road probably till 2024 or something. So I'm like, I guess I should, like, I started writing a TV show like 2 years ago, and me and my dude Dre did it, and there's like 4 episodes done already, and I'm like, man, we should write the rest of that series and then see what happens. And we wrote a movie, like, but we didn't put it all in order all yet, like, and I'm like, we wrote all this stuff, but I should probably look through it, see if we maybe could, you know, see if maybe we should start pitching it for when everything comes. But at this point, I'm like, I don't know, maybe. But I wake up in the morning and I play with my daughter and we eat lunch, and, you know, I do a little bit of work from home and write a couple new jokes. And then after that, the rest of my day is literally like I'm laying around or I'm trying to work out, but that's, you know, like, you know, so I'm trying. Put that, and then by the time I look up, it's bedtime almost. So I don't know. I want to do so much. Like, I got a podcast I should be doing. I ain't done one episode of the podcast. The COVIDs thing, the web series, at least that's going. Like, I'm doing it. But like, I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but I'd be okay if they didn't cure COVID, but they gave me some kind of motivation serum. Like, if they could just do that and make me get focused legally. Like, there's illegal ways I could do it, but I'm not. I'm not the Wolf of Wall Street, so I can't. You know, ain't nobody going to see their drug dealer in this kind of ain't nobody going to see their drug dealer in this kind of pandemic. You kidding me? You don't know where them drugs been. You know he's not wearing a mask, and if he is wearing a mask, you don't feel like you can trust him. Now you got to bring your drugs home, sit them on the back porch for 2 days to make sure all the germs die off. Like, it's a whole process. It's a whole process. I'm not even motivated to buy drugs to get motivated. Ain't that terrible?
I mean, you're going to DTs before you can touch the drugs. It's just not.
Yeah, easy. Oh well, I got it's fine. I figure out. Luckily, our state is starting to open some stuff up, so hopefully that'll kick me in the rear. But then by the time I start doing stuff, everything's gonna be open and we'll be back to normal, probably, or new normal.
And then you'll be going, why didn't I do this when I had the time? Damn it, because that's what I'm gonna be saying.
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah, and in my head, I'm like, that's what separates me from Dave Chappelle. That's not what separates me from Dave Chappelle. There's like 3,000 other things, like him being way funnier than me. He's a tremendous writer. He's got the right Hollywood connections. He's done all this other, like, that's. But in my head, I'm like, I got to be more motivated. That's what separates me from Dave Chappelle. Like, if you would get out of bed every day and work on something, you'd be like Kevin Hart already. No, that's not the case.
You know, if you're
that's not the case.
You could be him if you were motivated.
That's not. I'm gonna always be me, and sometimes me will be more successful than other times me. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
All right, man. I really appreciate you being on the show, dude. I'm gonna close this thing out. So for Joe Deuce, I'm Josh Sardam. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, I hope you liked the video, and if you like the show, make sure you throw a like down there somewhere. There should be a like, and there's a subscribe button over here.
And hit the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell, and check us out, man. Stay in touch with us. We're always putting out videos every week, and it should be a lot of fun, right?
Right as a letter.
Right as rain. Right as the mail. Thanks, guys. That should work.